Logan, your assessment of NC State. Obviously, Mackenzie Milton had to be pressed into action. We're not going to see him. And when I say hopefully, that's nothing against Mackenzie Milton. We mean Jordan Travis is the starter and should be the starter. He has earned that right, and he should be back in there starting. Milton had to throw it 44 times against NC State. We are concerned, Logan. Jason and I have talked about this now for 2 consecutive weeks with the run game against Clemson and then non-existent against NC State.
Defend your offensive line here. This should be good.
Defending offensive line that's been hurt since the second week. This has to do a lot too with play calling. I mean, last week was atrocious. It goes to show with having Mackenzie Milton in there, there's no efficiency on offense. It's putrid, and it doesn't work that well. And still kind of running an offense based around Jordan Travis and having Mackenzie Milton just take that role was what happened. And I don't think there was good game planning for this against NC State. Florida State still in the last 2 games has not been able to reach in a total, not just in each game one-on-one, but a total of 100 yards rushing, which is just terrible to think of compared to what you had earlier in the season with Trayshawn Ward going off along with Deshaun Corbin doing his thing and even DJ Williams getting into the mix. That can't happen. That's got to stop. And, I think the offensive line, you didn't have Dylan Gibbons last week, but other than that, you should be able to fulfill at least one depth role there. And, Bavion Johnson, if he's a full go this week, but, just overall, the offense has been not so great. They've also faced really good defenses. I mean, NC State's rushing defense was better than Clemson's. And so you're not facing easy opponents, but still it didn't help at all where Mackenzie Milton was kind of pushing things, throwing in the double coverage numerous times. And, there was multiple chances where NC State could have put this away really earlier, but Florida State's defense showed up and the pass rush was there and were able to make some plays. And, but the offense has got to click. And, during practice this week, I thought a whole 180 from the NC State week, and that goes to show how much of a difference Jordan Travis has on this team overall. I mean, and not only just offensively, but defensively, allowing the defense to get off the field early, let them rest, understand their assignments, be with their position group coaches. It just goes to show how big Jordan Travis's him being on the field does for FSU, for this team. And they're going to need it Saturday.
We talked a little bit about this before you signed on. You said they're having a good week of practice. And obviously, Mike Norvell said that they've had a better practice over the last couple of days. Where is the concern? Is there the concern about the regression? Because we talked about this. You're coming off a 3-game winning streak. You have a shot to beat Clemson. You're looking good against Clemson. And I feel like they regressed against NC State. They went back to playing the way they did in the first 4 games of the season. Is there any concern that the regression could get worse against a good Miami team?
I don't think there's regression happening. I think, like I said, a lot of guys dealing with the flu last week, about 20 to 25 that dealt with it all week. Some of them not practicing. We got to see that in person. I mean, I looked at our guy Noah and was like, not a lot of guys out here this week. And sure enough, you guys were having the flu, and I was questioning, man, that must have been a brutal game against Clemson. Guys out, dinged up, not even able to make it to practice, but then got to learn a little bit later on that had to do with the sickness going around campus and the flu frenzy going absolutely insane right now in Tallahassee. I am fine. I've been making sure to stay isolated from the bars. That's hard to do. I can't say it'll be the same on Friday night for Miami weekend, but they were still dinged up too from the Clemson game, along with going through the flu and going into the NC State game. It just all added up together to just where I predicted that to be in loss. So now, Florida State has got to hit a whole 180 this upcoming weekend. And guys, I'll say it, Florida State looks about as healthy as they've been since heading into that Clemson game, which is an optimistic thing to have